Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just got finished watching a really, really good movie this evening, Hidden Figures. Kind of a little late. Everybody else saw it. The rest of my friends saw it, and I decided to see it with a friend of mine. And it just speaks so succinctly in contrast to what we see on the media, what we see just in among popular figures, among a lot of different movements and groups in regards to race relations and just the obstacles that people have to deal with in 2017. Um, because this movie, I mean, it was just great. It was so encouraging. It was challenging, yet it should give hope to people who have been trained to think like victims. Because none of us come out of the womb thinking that we're already the victim. You have to actually be trained to believe that. You have to be told. You have to be told over and over again to believe that you are the victim. That somebody's out to get you. The white man's out to get you. Somebody's out to get you. Doesn't matter who. And especially if you're a black person. And it's not to say that there's not some kind of form of oppression out there, that racism doesn't exist. It'd be foolish to say that. But in 2017, it's nowhere compared to the true story that we see about these three women in the movie Hidden Figures. And so um, I just wanted to comment on it after I watched it, and it was just so great. Man, it was just good. And I'd watch it again. I'm not the type that will go to a theater and watch movies over and over again, but that's a movie I wouldn't mind watching over again just because I just thought it was so encouraging. And as I was watching the movie, what it really made me think about was Booker T. Washington. For those of you who may not know of Booker T. Washington was a former slave who eventually became free and basically was the instrumental leader who started Tuskegee University and helped many other black people to gain skills, education, and to help to be very profitable to this country. And he did it without complaining. He did it without, rioting. He did it without demonizing the opposition, because he did face a lot of it, even though he had many wealthy white people and just white people in general who were supportive of what he was trying to do. But you can go on Google and just type out Booker T. Washington quotes, and you'll see quotes up at the yin yang about many things, and many things in contrast to that just speaks so fitting today of race relations and victimhood and demagogues and about people who just have so many complaints and so many things they point to. And Booker T. Washington, even back in the early 1900s, was like, that's not the issue at all. And that crab in the bucket kind of mentality, he spoke against that. And this was back in the early 1900s, like I said. And one of the most famous quotes I remember him saying was, when a Negro girl learns to cook, to wash dishes, to sew, to write a book, or a Negro boy learns to groom horses, or to grow sweet potatoes, or to produce butter, or to build a house, or be able to practice medicine as well or better than someone else, they will be rewarded regardless of race or color. In the long run, the world is going to have the best, and any difference in race, religion, or previous history will not keep the world from what it wants. I think that the whole future of my race hinges on the question as to whether or not it can make itself of such indispensable value that the people in the town and the state where we reside will feel that our presence is necessary to the happiness and well-being of the community. No man who continues to add something to the material, intellectual, and moral well-being of the place in which he lives is long left without proper reward. This is a great human law which cannot be permanently nullified. Man, powerful stuff right there. And man, it's just that kind of attitude is just not of what we hear, on the CNN, on the MSNBC, all these mainstream medias where you have these different black commentators on there, and it's just racism, bigotry, institutional bias. But not many people are talking about, hey, hard work. Hard work wins in the end. Yeah, for some of us, we may have an uphill climb, but hard work wins in the end. You will be rewarded if you keep your nose clean. Okay, stay away from criminal behavior. Don't have a child out of wedlock. Get married. Stay married. Then have children. Get educated. You know, these type of things are not what I hear a lot of people saying en masse. Okay, there are people that say it, but not en masse. Mainly it is, they did us wrong. They're the problem. They did this. They stopped us. It's their attitude. They're racist. They're bigots. They're the problem. And it's like, see, the main thing of why I love this movie Hidden Figures so much, and why it speaks to 2017, is that these women, okay, had such an uphill battle. Okay, they weren't respected in the workplace, but their minds were such that the work they were able to do, the math, the science, the computing, the things that they were doing were such that, just like Booker T said, that the world is going to get what it wants. And if you're black and you can compute math, if you're black and you can do science, we're going to get you. We're going to have you do our stuff. Whatever it is, if you can cook, if you can sew, if you can build a house, if you can build a car, if you can cut my grass, if you can paint my house, whatever it is, if you are the best or if you are better than everybody else around you at doing that, people are going to use you. Racism comes at a cost. Okay, if I have a excellent doctor like Ben Carson, who happens to be a conservative, but he's an excellent doctor. Okay, he's a neurosurgeon. He's able to separate conjoint twins. This guy is excellent in what he does. And if I am a white racist man who is the director of a hospital and I choose not to hire Ben Carson and instead get a lower skilled white doctor, then I have to pay a cost for that. The people who he or she will be doing surgery under, those white people that are being chosen over Ben Carson, are doing not as good of a job as Ben Carson was doing. So the hospital is doing a disservice to its patients. That racism comes at a cost. Okay, but the white man who's for his own self-interest, who wants a good hospital, which brings more wealthy clientele, more money to the hospital, more payments, okay, he's going to hire Ben Carson. All right, and that's not what we get a lot. You get a lot of the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons, these people that are just straight up demagogues. They make money off race. They make money off demonizing. They make money off trying to shake down people. All right, and I'll put this really funny comic strip about Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton praying, we wish that there was no more racial strife and bigotry, and poof, okay, they just disappear. All right. And that's when it ends. The racial strife and bigotry will stop getting whipped up when they're gone. Racial strife and bigotry will always be around. Okay, but you can overcome it. All right? If you add to your intellectual capital, if you add to your faith, all right? If you live a righteous, virtuous life, if you love your neighbor as yourself, all right? You don't complain. Keep your nose clean. You will be just fine in America in 2017. I wish that everybody watched this movie so that you can just be encouraged. All right, I know it's tough out there. All right, but at the same time, it's not doomed. If you have brown skin, you're not doomed. You just have to work hard. You have to work hard. Once again, from my previous video, I was talking about, the dearth of black fathers in America. I'm glad I was raised under a father, and I'm glad that I lived under a father who did not complain, especially not complain about anything about racism. He never did, and he immigrated from Nigeria to this country in the 70s. So he experienced things that I never had to experience. All right, especially since he married a white woman. In the 70s. So I'm glad I saw that. It gave me a perspective of, hey, Chidi, you just gotta work hard. Work hard, don't complain. What's complaining gonna do? My dad lived a life of, don't complain and don't hate the white man. Okay, hate the lazy man. If you are a lazy man, then you're gonna get what you get, which is nothing. So, anyways, that's it. It's later in the evening, but I thought I'd just shoot up a video and send it out there and just put it out there in the airways. If you like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Any comments, suggestions? I'm kind of new to this, so if you got any suggestions, if the audio's not to your liking, if you got some suggestions how I can fix that, whatnot, let a brother know. If that's it, then I'm just thankful for you listening to this video. Another 10 minutes of your life that you spent listening to me. Thanks a lot. And you have a wonderful night.